Recently, a startling revelation was revealed in an article. The remarkable $1,427 value of XRP was a significant milestone that was ascribed to the possibility of 30% of international banking institutions adopting it. Although 30% may not seem like much at first, it is a sizable chunk of the banking industry. We have all the proof to support the intriguing claim that Ripple is interacting with almost one-third of the world's banks in today's segment. But the question is, are these institutions making the most of Ripple's potential? It doesn't seem to. In our conversation today, we'll go into greater detail on this subject. We're also going to look at a story that surfaced 2 days ago that suggests Ripple may be about to go public by the end of March. As March draws to a close, this action might propel XRP's price to an incredible $8.97 in just over a month. Greetings, Peppo Coin Channel. Welcome once more to your one-stop shop for anything XRP. Let's briefly catch up before getting into the main topic of today's article. I need you to do me a little favor. Click like, subscribe, and ring that bell to become a part of our incredible community. Here's a small heads up as well. We're getting ready for a massive XRP giveaway as we get closer to 60,000 subscribers. It's easy to participate in the giveaway. Just take 3 easy steps. Thus, be sure to be attentive and prepared. To guarantee your place in the giveaway, don't forget to include a hashtag in the comments. It's interesting to note that SBI holdings alone make for around 4% of all worldwide bank deposits. In the long run, this implies that SBI may account for a sizable 4% of the 30% worldwide banking industry that may use Ripple's technology. However, that is only the beginning. Additionally, Ripple has formed a significant alliance in Brazil, launching its on-demand liquidity services alongside the Brazilian central bank. Furthermore, that is only one component of the worldwide jigsaw. In light of our recent talks about the BRICS countries, as you may recall from my last video, we examined how each of the member nations, China, Brazil, South Africa, Russia, and India, has direct connections to Ripple for on-demand liquidity and digital currencies issued by central banks, CBDCs. The BRICS countries alone account for almost 29% of the world's economic output as compared to the global GDP. This leads us to a fascinating prospect. The consequences might be enormous if the BRICS nations choose to work with Ripple as a group. In a prior video, I went into great detail on the viability and current progress of integrating CBDCs on the XRP ledger. It is impossible to exaggerate the importance of the XRP ledger in this situation. Because of its crucial role in the developing financial landscape, Ripple's technology has even more promise as we look ahead to the next bull market. After the Fed made a public announcement, the discussion surrounding Ripple's emerging position in financial technology took a dramatic shift. According to their statement, XRP and XLM may be crucial in bolstering the blockchain framework of their future FedNow payment system. The Fed emphasized this development by pointing to the partnership with Metal Blockchain as a crucial step in converting cash to stablecoins in a frictionless manner, so bridging the divide between conventional banking institutions and the decentralized finance industry. At the moment, Americans can use digital Bitcoin wallets or third-party apps like Venmo and PayPal to make fast domestic payments. But this scene is about to undergo a revolution thanks to the FedNow service. The platform, which is now in its experimental phase, has already drawn involvement from more than 120 organizations, including well-known brands like US Bank and Exchange Bank, in addition to a range of payment processors and solution providers. This achievement not only demonstrates how blockchain technology is becoming more widely accepted and integrated into traditional financial services, but it also represents a turning point in the evolution of traditional banking into the cutting-edge field of decentralized finance. Leading distributed ledger technology company Ripple is well positioned to play a significant role in the FedNow effort, which is being driven by the Federal Reserve. In a similar vein, the FedNow ecosystem is probably going to include Stellar Lumens, XLM, which is well known for its blockchain-powered network that simplifies and reduces international transactions. The story takes an intriguing turn at this point. A headline caught the attention of the financial community just 8 hours ago. In the midst of 30% global bank acceptance, XRP soars to $1,427. This is a noteworthy development that highlights the revolutionary potential of blockchain technology and finance. The report claims that the adoption of XRP by 30% of global banks for cross-border payments is responsible for the startling increase in its value to $1,427. This degree of uptake indicates a huge demand for XRP, which will drive its price to previously unheard-of levels. With its skyrocketing market value, XRP's rise represents not only a victory for Ripple, but also a possible jackpot for investors. The discovery that XRP's market penetration is almost at this 30% mark, suggesting even wider acceptance throughout the global financial landscape, adds depth to the story. Just 6 days earlier, there had been a startling update indicating that XRP transactions would surpass $1.2 quadrillion, which would raise its theoretical price to $10,000. This marks a significant change as financial institutions start to use the XRP ledger and its digital assets more widely. Unquestionably, the news has been released. The buyback plan from Ripple is no longer merely conjecture. This reality is developing more quickly than anyone could have predicted. According to a recent report, Ripple Labs, the company that created XRP, is not only considering but actively buying XRP. The company plans to retire almost 1 billion XRP as part of a significant buyback. This action shows a strong endorsement of XRP's worth and prospects in the financial system. The disclosure that the Federal Reserve is actively interested in using XRP as a pillar of international payment infrastructures, rather than merely watching from the sidelines, thickens the plot. The ramifications are enormous. Estimates indicate that if central banks around the world adopt XRP widely, its value might soar to between $12,000 and $22,000 per unit. This increase in value highlights how XRP has the ability to revolutionize international finance. Furthermore, it has been confirmed that Google's observations support this course, confirming the Federal Reserve's plans to use XRP due to its unmatched potential as a worldwide payment system. For Ripple and XRP, this set of events represents a critical turning point that puts them at the forefront of financial innovation and has the potential to completely alter the global payments environment. Yes, we are going to tell you about the devastating documents that we have obtained through leaks. The fact that the Fed has had its sights set on XRP for a while is becoming more and more clear. A few weeks ago, the Fed reaffirmed its plan to use XRP internationally in accordance with ISO 4217. Originally scheduled to be implemented by the end of 2023, this ambitious plan ran into unforeseen delays that prevented XRP from being widely used as a fully recognized currency right after receiving regulatory approval. Currently, XRP is listed among major currencies issued by governments and central banks, including the US dollar, the euro, the GBP, and the Canadian dollar. However, additional revelations revealing the Federal Reserve's intentions to actively use the XRP digital asset add complexity to the story. Google Reader Insights emphasize suggestions made by Kikuchi, a government official who supports establishing a sidechain using XRPL's public chain. Expert Kegi claims that this approach would open the door for previously unheard-of cooperation and technical advancement by enabling Federal Reserve funds to interact directly with private sector advances. And this is only the start. The chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, has stated that large investments are being made to create new autonomous settlement systems in the U.S., indicating that financial technology and digital assets are about to undergo a revolutionary phase. Please keep in mind that I do not hold